Well, good morning, everyone. Good to see you survived your 3-day weekend. Hi, Phoenix. Hi, Twiggy from Australia. Hey, Savage. Hi, Long Live. Hey, Kat. Hi, Tiffany from Maine. Hey, Aggie. Okie Mama. Hey, Katie Bird. I'm so glad you guys are here. The bottom here. Let everyone tell each other hi and get settled in, get notifications and things like that. Hey, Red Hot. Hey, Barb. We're going to be talking about all the red flags today. It's going to be hard not to stay on here all day because there's so many of them. Exactly, Katie Bird. But we'll try. We'll try to keep it to a minimum. And we have a big surprise today. We have a special guest coming on. I just talked to her. She has an amazing channel. She definitely knows her stuff and can't wait to get to know all of you. Hey, Amy, we like your style too. Hey, Marie. All right, I'm going to go ahead and bring Kevin up. We'll go through a few things, and then we're going to get the show started and bring up our special guest. Good morning, my friend.
Good morning, Brooks, and all the peeps.
Well, I'm sure you have some red flags picked out, some things that kind of made you go,
I got so many I can't buy anymore. They're out of them.
No, there's no red flags left. I don't know. They seem to find, I don't know. It's funny. They seem to dig a little further, and they seem to find a new one for us every day.
Yeah, if anyone wants to start a business, start a flag factory.
There you go.
Yep.
Barb says, I love me some Kevin and coffee. Kevin's better than coffee.
Oh, thank you. I like this show. I like all the people. I like chat. It's fun.
It is, even though we're talking about something so dark and disturbing.
Yep.
So before we get into our red flags and how we're going to start the show, the only real update we have, of course, unfortunately, Summer is still missing. She is still missing.
Unbelievable.
No new tips, no new leads, but Don did apologize for his prank. Well, as we all know, this wasn't a prank. We discussed it on the show. This was a way for him to try to save his own backside. Him and Candace concocted this whole lie they made up to Mary because he had been told charges were being filed against him for the essay.
They ought to call that recording of Candace. They should call it.
They took money.
It was ridiculous.
I couldn't even get through it. I was just like, what is this? It took me several times to listen to it. The police took him to Boston, the feds, he owes $80K, the Mexican mafia. You get to the end and you're just like, this is too much. This is too much. This doesn't even make sense.
Oh, I can't wait for our secret guest to talk.
Me too. Well, before we bring her up, I'm going to refresh our memory with the 911 call. So hold on, everybody.
Road on the Beach Creek should be the first residence on your ride. Reference to a missing 4-year-old. The parents have called in and advised that the mother had went for a walk, came home, now they can't find her. They've been yelling for her. She's been gone for about 10 minutes now.
Again, audio from police scanner traffic that evening.
So again, what did we hear?
First of all, she's 5 years old. Second of all, I don't think Candace went for a walk anywhere or a run.
Nope, she didn't go for a walk or a run. Then when she did her interview with the news, she said that they were planting flowers. That's where we got the planting flowers story.
Yeah, okay.
20 feet away, according to Dawn.
That
She
whole
was
story.
in the dungeon by herself, but needed her handheld to walk 20 feet. All right, guys, I'm going to bring up our special guest. It looks like we got about 100 in here, so hang on. Good morning, What Big Eyes?
Good morning, and good morning to everybody up there. How y'all doing?
Let's give a big welcome to What Big Eyes. If you guys haven't subscribed to her yet, please do. Great channel. She knows her stuff. Extremely interesting.
She does her homework. Trust me.
That is for sure. Just don't give any of us a test, okay?
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, she knows more than I do.
Oh, y'all are funny.
So let's get started. All right. So what was the first red flag you saw, What Big Eyes?
Well, right out of the box, it was in the first interview with Candace and Dawn, and I've got a list here of things. Whenever she said that she couldn't tell the time, she got that all messed up because she was trying to have such a good time. And then she was talking about when her sister went missing, that she was between Arkansas and Tennessee, and she didn't know what happened. But then, you know, her first instinct was to tell us that she was where she was. It was like she was giving herself an alibi. And I can remember Don saying that he didn't know anything about that, and that, you know, they weren't together then. But then going back to that call where she was, guess what she did? She said how long they had been together. 14 years. Well, if you go back 14 years, that's 2 years before Rose disappeared.
A marriage made in heaven.
Marriage made in hell.
Yeah.
Yep. So there you go. That's some of the things. I mean, it's just I have so many on here. I just don't know where to go.
No, let's go. I mean, we want all the red flags. And like I said, there's been way too many to even go through. I'm going to share with you guys one of my first ones before I realized she had officially changed her story. I did see her arguing with people in like news articles, you know, the comment section. Of course, that was odd. But this really struck a nerve with me.
Oh, that's sick.
Yeah, who in the hell would do that?
You don't put up a missing flyer picture. You don't even have a t-shirt that says bring summer home. Hell, even Aisha Lankford did that. But you put this up?
Yeah.
You put this up? What were your thoughts when you saw this picture, What Big Eyes?
I was like, it was telling me that she wasn't coming back. It was a signal. It was like, she's gone, just like she said. And she was just gone. And then Don would say, you know, she got gone. How does somebody get a gone? Okay. I'm just, you know, these people.
She was just gone.
Right. And there she is. She's showing us. I'm telling you, these people can't help but their brain throws out stuff they don't even believe is coming out of their mouth, because that's the way we're made. We're made to tell the truth.
Yep, that's a fact.
Well, and with everything they've been spewing, the truth is in there somewhere. And we've said it over and over on this show. Imagine the look on the TBI's face and how big that file is. All the people they're talking to, all the conflicting stories. We have Hunter, Allie, Candace, Dawn. I totally believe that Grandis Abandus was totally talking to Crime Stories Obsessed. She's got a different account. And those are the ones we've heard from.
Right. Exactly.
I'll bet you, because in my opinion, Summer isn't alive. They probably didn't even give her the decency of a coffin. As far as I'm concerned, they threw her away like trash.
Well, I think that's what happened. She was disposed of.
Yep. That's just so wrong. That is, if you sit here and just look at that picture for a few minutes and think about it, that is very haunting.
Yeah, and then, in her statement, that first interview, Candace says about the thought of that there's nothing she could do for her, smothered her. That just jumped all over me. It was like it just sprang out of there like a frog. I said, oh my God, what did they do to that baby?
Hey, Barb, thank you very much. Actually, you know what? I mean, I've got all these notes. I forgot when she said it just smothered her. I remember thinking, what an odd term to use. It's one thing to say, I can't sleep at night. I want my child back. Have you seen any interview, any post, anything where they've been pleading for their child?
Nope.
No, I mean, even, Candace said that about the smothering. And then Don, I'll see her in the resurrection. I knew something was going to happen to her someday.
Right.
Don, you might as well have said, my daughter's dead, so I'm not going to waste my time looking for her.
Yep. It's just, it's beyond the pale the way they have such a lack of pleading and interest in finding their child. They're more interested in how they're perceived.
Yeah, they're more, Candace is more interested in calling, a family member in the middle of the damn night, acting like a drunken monkey, and instead of looking for their daughter.
Right.
I mean, come on.
Well, if you look at the picture on the screen, you can see in the bottom left-hand corner who posted this. You might even get a little bit of when it was. It wasn't that long ago. What did you think when you saw this picture?
Is her face all dirty?
She woke up like that.
Yeah, so she didn't take a bath the night before. That's for damn sure.
And you know why that's the way it is, the blue thing there, huh? She
had no clothes on.
No clothes.
That you think about it, and that's probably in their bed. That makes me sick.
Yeah.
Who takes a picture of their child in agony and has to use the edit button to cover up their bare 4 or 5 year old chest?
So did they post that picture?
Yes.
Dawn did. If you look at the left-hand bottom
Wow,
corner,
that's a red flag.
That's 3 red flags.
Yeah, no doubt. Wow.
Because with as much talking as Dawn has been doing, I have said to myself over and over, when is enough going to be enough? When is he just going to stop talking?
He ain't. He can't. That's what I've said from the beginning. He's guilty. he has to talk in order to try to keep, people thinking that he's innocent. Because something new comes out about him every day, and it's like he has to keep talking. He don't have
Yes,
a choice. He's already buried himself.
it's damage control.
Yep, that's a
He's
perfect.
it's a perfect way to say it. It's damage control. The damage was done when he said he was at work all day. When Candace gave a different account of events when she spoke with the local news as to what was recorded on the 911 call. Why on earth did he not correct her or something? I don't think he even realized what she told 911.
Well, they don't communicate very well.
Well, the thing of it is, too, is they've said so many. See, when you got a lie like that, you have to be able to cover your lie with another lie. And I've always said, at some point in time, you're going to lose track of what you said because it's not the truth. The truth stands alone.
Right, especially when you have a little bit of mind altering going on with alcohol and
There you
other
go.
things,
Very true.
Now, what red flags did you get with Big Eyes during Hunter and Allie's interview?
Well, I got that Allie was watching Hunter very carefully.
Me too.
She was like ready to pounce to say something, and people say Hunter wasn't telling the truth because of his yawning thing. Well, I think he has ADHD, and that's one of the symptoms of that whenever he's stressed. And so he was nervous, of course, but I think mostly he was trying to tell what happened.
Yep, I've always said that Hunter, to me, in my opinion, Hunter has nothing to do with this. The thing of it is I think Hunter is just a 15-year-old boy trying to look cool from a dysfunctional family.
Yeah.
That's what I think about Hunter.
Yeah, and two, he was used as an alibi. He was used for proof of life.
Thank you. I believe that too. We were discussing the other day, and I said, I believe that entire day was an alibi.
Yep.
That's why they asked Hunter to go to the fishing or whatever. First it was fishing, then it was swimming. They used Hunter that day.
Absolutely, they used him. Absolutely.
Yes.
Here we have Grandis, who, according to her, has bone on bone. That's how bad her knee is. That's extremely painful. So, of course, she's getting medication at the ER. So you don't keep dragging her around all day and go to the hippie house, go swimming, take her home, go get her prescription, and come back. But they made sure they had many, many stops throughout the day.
Right. So they could be picked up on all the cameras everywhere.
My biggest red flag with Hunter was and I know damn good and well he saw it, was it's done. I want to know what that means. On Candace's phone.
That I don't understand at all, because that would have had to have been, obviously Summer was there. So what
it could have been a drug deal. Maybe it was a drug deal. But I'd love to know what that meant.
Yeah, because he just wouldn't pull that out of air.
No, not at all.
Lady sleuths. All right. I love what you guys are bringing up. I see all the different red flags coming up. Where is the swimsuit?
Exactly.
And the pillow.
And there we go again to the smother.
Yep.
Now, here's another red flag. Dawn posted this on July 10th. If you guys want to discuss this picture, which to me looks like, and I don't care about anyone who has a gun, owns a gun, likes guns, not getting into that conversation, all right? But someone's clearly sneaking up on Summer with a newly shaved head with a gun, and he picked that picture. What is he alluding to? Have you thought about that?
Yeah, well, you know, the boys were like using the dogs for target practice, and you know, that's a concern there about what actually went on. And you know, the first interview that Don did, he had Josie there with him, and the poor child, I couldn't figure out the body language. It was either fear or shame. They look very much similar because, and Don was handling him, you know, it's like he had his arm around him like, I got you here. So did he do something to Summer, or was it, you're going to stand up here with me and whatever, you know? I don't know. It just bothered me. That's one of the flags I saw, was it was his the way he kept looking down, and I don't believe it was the sun in his eyes.
Like, no,
that
was fear. That was fear.
That little boy, and that, you know, when he was with Don, that was just a show, you know, as far as I'm concerned. And this picture right here, I wonder if that's Yucky.
Yeah,
I wonder if they were shooting Summer's favorite puppy with a BB gun. That's nice. Wow.
Yeah, I believe that's Yucky.
Poor Summer.
Exactly, poor Summer.
I don't know. I just can't wrap my head around, you know, and I doing something so heinous. Wow.
Was it?
And
they're just so many moving parts. Yeah. No, there's just so many moving parts going on here, you know, and so much deception.
And that picture,
a lot of deception. They will not, the people that can be helping them, which is the TBI, search and rescue, EquiSearch. I mean, you know, they never even came out, unless I missed it, and thanked the searchers. They actually complained about the helicopters keeping them awake. And the people that could be helping them, they won't deal with them. They're going to YouTube. They're going to Facebook.
Yeah.
And muddying the waters even more for their little girl. So if you see this on July 12th, Dawn posted this. An older gentleman said he dreamed of Summer last night, and Summer asked him to ask me if I was taking care of her Yucky. I wrote him back, Yucky was her dog. He replied that he thought it was a strange name, but never thought it could be a dog. She couldn't say Lucky, so we went with Yucky. He said it was a beautiful dream, and she was very happy and kept sending her daddy kisses. I don't know this from Adam, but I asked him if he was a commandment keeper, and he said yes. I believe him. There's no way he could have known this. I've been asking God for something. Thank you, God. We love you and worship you.
You know what strikes me weird about that is when he says Yucky, I wrote him back, Yucky was her dog. So in the beginning, what is he referring Yucky to? You know, for some reason, I get a creepy feeling about the word Yucky.
I do too.
I don't know.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like like what you're doing is yucky. I mean, there's something there. Something ain't right about that.
Exactly, Barb. Exactly, Barb. And so
what did Barb say?
Dawn called her the C word.
Oh,
Mhm.
yeah. That's
So
terrible.
here's my thing, Dawn. If this older gentleman messaged you on Facebook, I'm assuming, and tells you about this dream, and in this dream, he knows the name of Summer's dog, did you call TBI with that? Because that's a lot of info in a dream.
Yeah. Yucky and kissies. I don't know. Something about that ain't right.
But Summer told this old man in a dream she was sending kissies to her daddy from heaven.
Ugh.
This is July 12th.
So he's already burned Summer being dead. Again.
Oh yeah, from the very beginning, he was.
Yeah.
You know, she was far, far away, but yet he said this in the first interview, and he said his biggest fear was of her being tormented or locked in a dungeon or basement or something.
Which is where she slept every night.
I know, that's what he was saying. That's where he was telling.
The whole story in that first interview, they answered every question as far as I'm concerned. There's so many red flags in that first interview. That's when I knew they were guilty. I've said it since then. They told the story.
Yep.
Well, they told the story without telling the story because they told us all they were lying.
Exactly.
I mean, this was not that long after the 911 call, and she had a totally different version than what she said. Went for a walk, and then she's on the interview saying, "Oh, I don't take walks around here because bears and snakes." That's what she told 911.
I'm more afraid of Candace than I am a bear or a snake.
Yeah, I am too. Candace scares the hell out of me.
You know, Candace and tigers and bears. Oh my.
Go on, Kevin.
Well, you know what really bothers me is everyone with children, when you're asked to talk about your child, and you're asked, well, tell us about your child. Well, you have all these things, these cute little things they've done, and what they came up with was she was a tomboy, she was the boss of the family, she loved to play in the mud and on her swing and enjoy dirt. There was no, when she first started walking or what her first word was. There's none of that. It's like they never paid any attention to her at all. They had no intimate stories.
No, and we're going to discuss that in an upcoming episode. We're going to discuss what was different about June 15th.
That's a good question from Alicia there.
Yep. Yeah, guys, look at this. Alicia says, I have not seen anybody ask why grandma chose to go to an ER an hour away from their house when there are 2 ERs far closer. I didn't realize the ER was an hour away. Do you have any thoughts on that?
I didn't either. I thought that was the closest one.
Me too. There's a red flag. They did something. I mean, something. I have a feeling it was something with drugs. I don't know. Something.
Well, the orange soda thing that looks so out of place on the seat?
Yes.
Yep.
Somebody told me that they put drugs in that and drink it.
I wouldn't doubt it.
They use orange soda.
That's what I thought the slushy was for. I figured they put something in that way she's not kicking and screaming.
Yeah.
And another red flag is they didn't buy her nothing to eat that day.
Nope.
They probably didn't anyway, but that's another red flag.
Yeah, there was no mention of food. It was like these people live on air.
Yeah, they're a waste of oxygen as far as I'm concerned.
And they've been out doing a lot of running around. I just think that's so odd. And I don't know of any kid. I've heard some people argue with me and they're like, well, what if she had a really big breakfast? They didn't get up and make any really big breakfast. I mean,
Hell no.
Yeah, what time they got up is even neither here nor there. That's all over the place. You know, Candace said they left at 8 a.m. Don said when he got up at 7:30, Summer was still asleep. Now, I don't know how many things have changed since then, but I mean, that's where we're at.
Shit, I'll bet money I'll bet them kids fended for themselves with whatever they had to eat. Candace ain't going to get up and cook no damn breakfast.
Yeah. Yeah, those boys knew how to heat up a pizza in the microwave.
I'm sure they did. Chips.
Oh yeah, we've heard the neighbor's account of what went on there and why she was inclined to call CPS. And not only did she call CPS, but after they visited, Candace started calling different people, wanting to know who called CPS. Most parents would be so ashamed, in fear, upset, embarrassed, want it cleared up as soon as possible. She wanted to know who did it.
I'm sure she did. But I believe that one lady. That lady ain't lying. The one that talked about the maggots in the diapers and stuff, you know. I believe that woman.
The wolf rats.
Yeah.
How there was tons of, how Candace was always on her cell phone. She'd get,
Yep.
They lived off fast food. It was just nasty inside. Did you hear all of that? What, Big Eyes?
Yes, it was terrible. And I mean, people say, "Oh, well, that's not possible." Well, let me tell you, if you're out in the country, there's going to be wood rats, and that's what those were.
Uh-huh.
I believe it 100%.
Couple more red flags coming from the man himself, not Kevin, Donald Wells. This is June 24th. I actually went up a little bit. Got to order. This is when Donald said, "I dreamed that Summer was with me on a commercial construction site. And I asked where she had been. And she said, it says sown the road. I'm going to say down the road. I woke up with the word Moderna repeating over and over again. We've been praying to God to send angels and please give us something to go on. I've looked on maps and could only find Moderna production in South Carolina and a small place in Mexico. Please help me with this. It might mean something to somebody. Prayers, hope, and love."
Hey, let me ask something. Isn't Moderna also a company that makes pharmaceuticals?
Yes.
Yeah, it's a shot.
Okay. So basically, why did Don bring up Moderna, and why did he say commercial construction site?
Thank you. The commercial construction site is what really got me. Mexico is always going to be his deflection because he wants people to believe his abduction theory.
But what I'm getting at is Moderna also is a pharmaceutical company.
Yeah, it's an odd thing to dream about. Not that Don had this dream, okay, guys? I'm going to go ahead and call it out. Don did not have this dream. This is a made-up stuff.
So did he bury Summer in a construction site because she took something that Moderna made? That's what I'm getting at.
Well, that's possible.
Think about it. He's always using Freudian slips. You know what I mean? And maybe Moderna doesn't mean Mexico. Maybe Moderna means drugs. I don't know. Just something different.
No, but it's definitely a red flag. And you see underneath it, he said, "I think it's a shame on our country's part that anyone can just go into Mexico unchecked." Again, more deflection. He will never stop with the abduction theory. And like I've said before, I'm going to see what you think about this, what, Big Eyes. I believe him and Candace are partners in crime. They work side by side. They are each other's teammate.
Yep.
They cover for each other. Not very well, but they do. And when she called 911, she said she had gone on a walk. Of course, we heard later a run, and came back, and 10 minutes later, Summer was gone. So here's been another red flag for me. Who calls 911 after 10 minutes, especially when you live out in the country and there's a lot of things going on?
Yeah.
Did you find that weird, or I'm looking too much into that?
No, I found it weird. I was just looking here for other things that Moderna makes besides vaccines, to see if there's something to that.
Yeah, that is something that.
Lady Sleuth said, why did they need to make 2 phone calls? Oh, hang on. Why did they need to make 2 calls? Don didn't know what happened unless he was home.
That they probably made 2 calls because Don had to have an alibi that he was not there.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So if they checked it, yeah, he was on the road when he, you know what I mean? To me, they're setting up an alibi by doing that, by doing 2 calls.
Well, if Don was at work all day, no alibi needed, right? He should already be cleared.
Shit,
That
he
should
wasn't
be
at
simple,
work.
correct? That should be very simple. He was at
Right.
work all day. Susan said, Don called to register ping on the cell tower.
So, what big eyes? What did you find with that Moderna?
Well, they also make stuff for the pet industry, which is like litter boxes, and this is really weird.
Yeah. Ever since
But
I've seen that.
basically, it's therapeutics that they're into for different diseases. So it's not just linked to the vaccine that, for the virus, it's other things too. That's interesting.
Yeah, I'm gonna ponder over that one for a few days.
They have more than 20 experimental drugs for vaccines and cancer and things like that. So
That is interesting.
yeah.
Now, let's talk about this red flag. From the beginning, okay, as a parent living in the country, wouldn't you first assume your child got out of the dungeon, okay, went outside unaccompanied, and had an accident? Whether it be an animal fell in the creek, fell down and got hurt. But they always said, she's not here. She's been abducted.
Right.
They were annoyed with the search and rescue.
Well, because they knew that she wasn't there, they did something with her. The accident is a very good possibility. And when you stop and think about it, she could have been on her swing and banged into it and killed herself. She could have fallen down the stairs. Her brothers could have done something to her. They could have shot her with something. There's just could have gotten into some of their drugs and overdose. There's all kinds of possibilities.
Absolutely. And you would first assume an accident. You wouldn't think, living isolated, that somebody knew that your daughter was in the basement playing alone, got in and got out with her.
Well, plus, if you listen to how Scott H. talks about the area, people don't just go there that don't belong there. You know,
Oh yeah, I love his channel. He's in chat right now too.
it's not one of those places that you just, you know, go around looking for a child to grab when you've got so many opportunities in other areas to get children if you're going to kidnap a child.
According to Candace, it would be impossible. No way in, no way out. Doors locked.
I know she locked herself in on that one, didn't she?
Oh, they've been painting themselves in a corner since June 15th.
Yep.
And it gets worse and worse.
Well, and somewhere somebody said that that window downstairs there in the back of the house, maybe someone saw Summer in there. No, they didn't. There's tinfoil over it.
Yeah, they have all the
Oh,
windows blocked out. There was just
Yeah,
the
blacked
little
out.
door. The little door had a glass in it, but it was above height of where you could see her.
Yeah, Chris McDonough said the windows are blacked out.
Yep.
So that's a cockamamie story.
It's
and
like
who
a
blacks out their
dungeon.
windows? Who blacks out their windows?
Meth addicts.
Oh,
It was like a dungeon.
Yeah. Wow.
so back to
Yes.
another red flag when Don said he fears that he's being held in a dungeon or basement.
Yep.
I don't know if I'm sure they blacked windows out too, so nobody could see in there and see what was happening this summer, in my opinion.
Misfit Brit said, and the whole prank calls, huge red flag. Who in their right mind would do prank calls while their baby girl is missing and other kids are taken away? That'd be the last thing on my mind to do. It'd be the last thing on anyone else's mind. You wouldn't be able to sit around those two idiots hitting the bottle and making up some preposterous lie, which he's been sprinkling this stuff all over Facebook, and then call Mary and get her all spun up.
And then the different stories in the whole call. You know, first it was the cartel that got him, and then the cops had him and they were beating him up, and then the FBI took him off, and it was related to the rush on the Capitol or something. I mean, good grief, how many stories you going to put in there?
Well, she can't keep anything straight. She can't even tell you what happened the day her daughter went missing.
Yeah.
Lord only knows what Dawn told her to say to Mary, and she decides to go all rogue and add her own 2 cents to it. She can't keep a story straight.
Well,
It makes me wonder in all of these stories, where's the truth?
Right. Well, I was listening on that call, and you can hear someone, a man's voice that sounds very much like Dawn, say to her, be sure to tell them about the children. Well, that's about, he wanted her to throw in there about the pedos, that they're pedos, and that's what, you know, it's trafficking and all this stuff. And I think it was really to make Mary and Jeannie feel bad that they wouldn't go ahead with filing those charges.
Exactly. That's what I was thinking too. Or to make them think, don't even pursue it. He's already been taken.
Exactly.
I didn't even think about that. Yeah, that's true.
That's exactly what I was saying, because it was after when Mary called him and said, you know, charges were being pressed. So the two geniuses sat there because, like I said, they worked together. They worked together for the longest time. I thought it was Candace and her mom. Could be a little of that too, but she's nowhere around, as we know. They came up with this story. Something got them very worried, and they made this up, hoping that nothing would come of it.
Right. Well, can you imagine being in their situation? You're up there on this isolated hill, okay? The kids are gone. they just have to deal with each other, and every noise that they hear, they think something is coming for them. So of course they're going to be in fight or flight mode, and they're going to be all hyped up and be trying to figure out a way to conjure up a story to get Don out of the mess he got himself into.
All right, so I've got on the screen, and you're exactly right, with Big Eyes. On the screen, I have a couple of more red flags. Like I said, we don't have all day, so we're going to try to go through as many as we can. July 7th, to all who are trying to help through psychics, thanks. I know you want to help. But what does the Bible say? Leviticus 19 through 31. Well, Don, you're the one having dreams and saying that some old man had a dream that happened to tell the name of Summer's dog.
I'm going to get a Bible and look that verse up right quick.
Okay.
I want to see what this is all about.
Well, they also talk in the Bible about talents that God gives you and being able to be sensitive is one of them.
Yeah. Well, he's not sensitive, as we know.
No.
He's about as sensitive as a dead duck.
You're exactly right, Barb. So the day before that, he said, so how would you address the kidnappers of your precious 5-year-old daughter after you have pleaded with them for weeks? So we're supposed to believe that Donald is negotiating for his daughter's release. Like he's been watching the movie Ransom or something. I swear to God, we can tell what he's watching on TV anymore.
Uh-huh.
What did you make out of that?
Yeah, exactly. He's trying to make himself look good, like he's really concerned. He wants his daughter back and all this, but nah, just not convincing enough.
No, none of it's been convincing.
And all the deal of him saying, well, I'm sorry they had to do all this stuff trying to find her and all of that. Well, people that are guilty usually think it's important to say they're sorry. So did you find anything, Kevin?
Yeah, I'm looking. Well, if you meant chapters 19 through 31, that's what I was looking at. Just a sec here. And then if he was referring to the first chapter, verses 19 through 31. Okay.
He
So
obviously
he must have
doesn't know how to read the Bible because he doesn't give a chapter and verse. 19 through 31, come on.
Okay, well, 19 through 31 is 19 is various laws. 20 is punishment for sins. 21 is rules for priests. 22 unacceptable sacrifices. 23 appointed festivals. The Sabbath year, reward for obedience. Well, he just yeah, okay, Don. 19 usually. I mean, that's a broad range. That's a lot of chapters.
He doesn't even say chapter and verse.
No, he doesn't. He's an idiot.
All right, so Elizabeth Samuels says, why would Don not want the person responsible to go to prison or worse? He made that very clear, if everyone remembers.
That right there tells me, hey, I'm guilty.
Or Candace is.
Yeah.
Okay, it was Leviticus 19:31 about turning away mediums or seeking spirits.
Okay.
Yeah, we have to remember how he types. My fault.
Wow. Yeah, who would say that? You know, what you wouldn't wish any harm. If somebody asked me, what would you do to the person that kidnapped your daughter? I can't even say it on YouTube.
Okay, Mrs. Marquis said on the podcast, Don said he would forgive the kidnappers. So let's talk about that. Why would you forgive? Not just forgive. I understand forgiveness is a different thing, so it doesn't eat you forever. Why would you not want the person responsible punished?
Well, the only person that can truly forgive without reservation would be Jesus. And Don, you ain't no preacher, man, so and you ain't Jesus either.
Well, the thing about that is, it's like, okay, you have a child and they get in trouble, and you ask them, well, what would you want to do? What would you want me to do so that you get some kind of a punishment here for what you've done? Well, they're always going to be lenient on themselves. So he's not thinking of the person, because he probably is the person. So, of course, he wouldn't want that person to be punished. He wouldn't want anyone to have to go back to jail.
He even said, bingo, he's not going to prison.
Right.
He's not going to prison.
I bet he doesn't either. As far as I'm concerned, he'll kill himself and Candace.
That's a possibility.
Shale Garcia says because they are involved, so he deflects. It's ridiculous. I can't wait for him to be under the jail. Who's ever responsible?
Yep.
Such an odd thing to say. So back to this that Don said. He's been pleading with the kidnappers for weeks. I can't believe more people didn't pick up on this. What did you think about that, What Big Eyes?
Where was the pleading done? I haven't seen it. Have you seen it?
Yeah. Is he giving any information to the TBI? Because if my child was missing and some strange old man found me on social media and had a dream that knew the name of my child's dog, the first thing I would do is dial that number and say, you guys need to look into this person.
Right. That's the first thing you do, is turn everything over to them. Say, look at this. This looks suspicious.
Yeah, but according to him, he's been pleading with the kidnappers.
Yep.
What was he doing? Talking to himself?
Well, that's all it could be.
He probably does have a bunch of people running around in his brain. You know? He's like, I told you not to do that. Yep, you were right. He's probably talking to people in his warped brain.
Well, something for TBI to check into is if there really was a person that sent him that message. Because he could just be making that up.
Oh, we know he's making it up.
As far as I'm concerned, if it was an abduction, TBI would have said so already.
Yep.
They already said it's unlikely. They haven't cleared anyone. Everyone's a suspect. So what part of that is he not getting? No one has cleared him. So we know he wasn't at work all day.
And I'll bet everyone is Don, Candace, and Granny.
Yep.
Now, What Big Eyes, what did you think about how Grandis Abandus left right after her granddaughter went missing?
That is, and the boys were, when they were taken, why didn't she come back? Because I think they were taken after she left. That is so strange that she would just abandon her daughter like that, unless she's so afraid of him that she wanted to get out of there before something happened to her.
Now that makes sense. I just still think it's odd because I think between those two women, they definitely give Don a run for his money.
Yeah, and the other thing with Granny, maybe she's scared of Don, but I can damn sure bet you that Granny knows what happened to Summer and where she is.
Oh yeah, she knows everything.
Hell yeah.
She was trying really hard to throw him under the bus in that deal to Ellie. That conversation she had with her. I really believe it was her. And then to cover herself, she has to say, "Oh no, I didn't do that."
Yep, I'm sure TBI is interested in Granny.
Oh, I'm sure they've talked to her many, many times.
I think
it's probably to the point they don't want to talk to him anymore. They're going to figure it out on their own. What went on June 15th? I still think all the running around and just the silliness was to create so much confusion.
You mean the actions of that day?
Yeah, none of it makes sense.
No.
It's never made sense to me. Your mom has this extreme pain from her knee. Now, Candace did say it's because the kids were hitting her on the knee on the way to their trip. But now Grandis says she has the pain is it's bone on bone. She has no cartilage in there, so it just rubs against all the time. So whether she had a doctor's appointment or she went to the ER, I don't know. You would bring her back home, not have her run around all day long. Exactly, Barb. That's why they needed Hunter. They had to have someone besides Candace and Grandis seeing Summer all day.
Yeah, so that kind of rules out the accidental thing. Mm-hmm. If that's an alibi, which it really looks like, so a proof of life thing, then that has to be something that was planned, not something that just happened.
Yeah, that's a great point. If it was an abduction, then why are they setting up an alibi? And nothing makes sense because it's not the truth. The truth will always stand alone. You know what I mean? It never changes. Their stories changed 50 million times.
Oh, it's always something different. One of our first shows, our first show about this was, I think, June 16th. As the days went on, we were going through all the different stories we heard about how she went missing. The planting flowers came when Candace and Dawn sat there, and Candace, I don't know what she was on. I will say she was good when she talked to Chris. But that's when the planting flower story came from. All right, so let's look at this. Candace Bly, February 4th. Happy birthday, my baby girl, Summer Wells. We all love you. And those are the pictures he chose.
Oh, look at her hair. Was it ever brushed?
She's a beautiful little girl. Beautiful little girl. Candace had more than enough time to comb her hair.
Yeah.
Why did she do this?
Were these posted on social media?
Yeah, this is on Candace's Facebook. Did you see these with What Big Eyes?
Yes, I did. She always looked so uncared for. Just like she was just there tagging along. It's just, except for those pictures at the church with the little red dress around Christmas. Everything else is just like there's just no care to the child. Nothing is You know,
What?
her
I got a
teeth.
question for you. What, big eyes? Did you notice in all of Summer's pictures you could see a decline?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, her health was definitely declining. And one picture that got to me was in a vehicle. I guess it was the Suburban or whatever, but um, she's looking like somebody just batted her in the mouth, and her mouth is kind of swollen. But if you look into her eyes, she looks like she's 100 years old. It was just so sad. It was like her soul had been stomped in the dirt. You know, they say the eyes are the windows to the soul. And when I looked into those little eyes, I cried.
Yeah, it's sad.
You know which picture I'm talking about, Brooke, don't you?
I do. Let me look to see if I have it.
I know. Yeah, it does look like she was hit in the face.
Well, there's a lot of them where she looks like she's been socked in the face
Mm-hmm.
or slapped really hard, you know.
I do not have that one. I do not have that one. I apologize.
Oh, that's okay. But
Yeah,
I'm sure everyone out there has seen that.
Yeah, let's remember, Candace has had two other kids that were taken away, and one was beat with a bat.
Yeah, and that's the thing. You're exactly right. I mean, even one of her children, her oldest daughter, contacted her just for some resolution as to why her childhood went the way it did. She was told, take a hike, get the hell out of here, don't ever call me again. Not, I think about you every day. I was young, you know, I want to reconnect with you. Summer would love a big sister. So she was abandoned again by Candace. Candace does not have a maternal bone in her body. And neither does her mother. That grandma does not care for grandkids the way most grandparents do.
Right.
Well, I've said it all along. Every child that has come out of Candace's womb has been neglected. You know, Summer's not the only one. You know, I'm just so glad they got them boys out of there.
Yeah, they're going to need a lot of help. They really will.
Yeah.
Those boys will need a lot of help.
And what was it you were telling me, Big Eyes, about the son at the mall?
Yeah, there was something about he had grabbed another child inappropriately. One of the boys had done this, you know, and you know, that's a sign there that they're seeing things or things are being done to them that's not right.
Katie, you're exactly right. Now the boys have a chance. They're going to have to be deprogrammed. They're going to have therapy, because what little bit, and it's a tiny bit, I'm assuming, what we have learned about the daily goings on of Dawn and Candace, their world, their household, what goes on behind closed doors, those kids heard, experienced, saw every day.
I can't imagine.
They know when they came home, if Summer was actually in that truck. They know. They know if their mother actually took her by the hand, walked her over. There was no flowers planted that day. Nothing like that.
Hell no.
Walked her over. If they saw her come through the living room, they would be able to recount what happened when the police were called. They would know all that. They're too scared to tell. These are boys that go to school. They have been told over and over by Dawn and Candace not to say anything about what goes on at home.
Right.
I can't imagine what those kids were exposed to. I don't think anybody can. You know, I bet if we knew it all, it would be very, I mean, it's already disturbing, but I
Yeah.
can't even imagine.
Yeah, they're going to need lots of therapy and love and attention. You know, they haven't had nearly enough of attention and love like most kids do. You know, it has nothing to do with your house, how much money you have.
Thank you.
Has nothing to do with that. There are children that are raised up like that their parents are millionaires. Has nothing to do with that.
No, you know, I get sick of hearing that. Well, they're just poor mountain people. Bull crap. That isn't how most people live. They're not
Well,
even from the mountains of Tennessee. They're flatlanders.
Well, and not to mention, they have money.
Yeah, they have a new car and they buy drugs and alcohol. Well, how about
They
a
have money.
toothbrush?
I mean, this land and this house was basically given to Don. You don't just give
Right.
away property in a house unless there's someone in the family has money, something going on. If you look at Grandis's camper, campers are not cheap. She wasn't living in a tent. If you're that poor, you're not buying all the things they're buying. You're not getting the fast food. You're not going to the hippie house. You don't have all the alcohol.
Right.
And
They're
some
not
of the
poor.
poorest people can't rub two dimes together, put soap and water on their kids, and clean their homes.
right.
And like I said, I did missionary work, you know, and I've been to third world countries and I've seen people, and I'm not joking, literally with dirt floors, and their kids are cleaner than the Welsh kids. So this poor thing that's bull crap.
Okay, Lisa said Candy got a disability settlement. Well, then she's got money coming in.
Yep.
I'm assuming that's what she bought her camper with, because she's got money coming in.
Yes, I think she's on disability.
So she's disabled. So there you go. And they drag her around all day when she should have been back at home. I mean, she was seen by a doctor or the ER. She was seen by a doctor. You get her back home. But they take her to the swimming hole. Did you ever find that odd, What Big Eyes?
Yeah. And you know, if you look at the walk from where you have to park to walk down to where the water was, it's an incline going down. And I've had both my knees replaced because I had bone on bone. And I'll tell you what, that would have been very painful to go down that hill for me, just looking at it before I had my surgery.
Thank you for clearing that up.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. That just goes to show you, you know, What Big Eyes just had the surgery, so she knows what she's talking about.
Lisa said she hurt her knee at Family Dollar. Oh, so she had a slip and fall. She fell down at the Family Dollar, I'm assuming?
Ooh,
So she has a personal injury suit. So this workman's comp thing people are talking about, of course, is just another lie.
Well, now it could be she was injured at work because I checked into the history, and Grandis had managed I think it was a Dollar Tree or a Family Dollar up there in Wisconsin. And
She was working there. Okay.
And that Rose Bly was at another store. So that's how they got to know each other. They worked for the same company. I bet you nobody knew that, huh?
What now? Say
Yeah,
that
say that
again.
again.
I'm
It's cut
sorry.
out on my end.
Okay. Rose Bly. Oh, not Rose Bly. Rose, what's her name? The one that did the GoFundMe, Rose Meyer,
Yeah.
was it? Okay. She worked at another store for the same company that Grandis worked for. It was either Family Dollar or Dollar Tree. I'm not sure which one, but that's how they met. They worked for the same company.
I
They
did
each had
not
their
know
own
that.
store. Yeah.
See, that's what I said. You do your homework.
Well, Ancestry is my hobby, and I know how to search for things.
Oh, I've always said that. I tell people all the time, if you want to know the facts, talk to what big eyes.
Oh,
It's true.
Alicia said she already had a knee replacement and her knee was supposedly hurting and she supposedly thought she had dislodged her knee replacement. Okay, so there's another story. But Candace said that the kids were banging her in the knee on the way to the trip when they were going to the Hatfield and McCoy restaurant.
yeah, but then didn't Granda say it was bone on bone?
She did. That's what she was telling Crime Stories Obsessed. After they said after they said she got hacked, which if somebody logs into your Facebook, your Messenger, anything from another device, laptop, tablet, phone, whatever, it's going to say, is this you?
Right.
She never got that message. So it's her.
Right. And I'll tell you something
Hey,
else.
you know something?
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Well,
Oh, I
someone
was just
was,
going to say that I just thought about something. Maybe Grandma went to the ER that day too. That she didn't even need to go. It's just part of the alibi.
well, that could be too. That was the reason
Maybe
for
Grandma
going,
wasn't
wasn't
even
it?
in pain. Maybe Grandma just did that so their alibi would work.
Well, see, that was the reason for all of the
I don't
other
know. I'm just
stuff. So
saying.
sure, makes sense.
Why? Yeah, why wouldn't it be? Why wouldn't? I don't believe she ever was in pain. I believe, now that I think of it, I believe that that's just part of the alibi. Because
All
the
right.
reason I say
So
this is because when you go to the ER now, they might give you a narcotic, okay, intravenously, but you have to have somebody with you that drives. But ERs don't write pain pill scripts. The only thing they'll do is maybe give you some or write you a script for like a few of them until you get to a doctor. You know what I mean? So the theory of people thinking that Grandma went to ER just to get drugs to sell them, no. I think Grandma went to the ER for the alibi. That's all I
they
have
went
to
to
say.
Walgreens for something.
Well, they
Yep.
could have given her like Tylenol with codeine or whatever. They won't give you those heavy opiates.
Nope.
They could have given her a shot.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I put another picture on here. It looks to me that Summer has a bruised eye.
Yes, she does. I've seen that picture.
Oh,
Yeah.
I was going to ask you that if that was the camera or is that a bruise? Wow.
Desiree says they're all good at playing CYA. They got an answer for everything. I mean, everything. Whether it's a dream they had, whether it's the Mexican mafia, the feds, kids hitting grandma in the knee.
You know, I've never seen a picture like little kids with Summer, like with her arms wrapped around Candace's neck. Never. I haven't seen any. It's like she doesn't want. And look at Candace smoking right behind Summer's face. That's real
Yep.
nice. Wow.
Yeah, nothing like cigarette smoke in your child's hair, like Lee said. Really?
I mean, that's just. I don't know. That just shows you how much she cares. She don't. That's a good picture for neglect.
Boy, she sure could put her arms around Miss Robin.
That's what I'm saying. Yep. I think Summer really loved that lady.
That was so pitiful. I mean, she just couldn't get enough love from that lady.
Mm-mm. And then you got people saying, well, maybe Robin did something. Come on.
No.
It's obvious Summer loved Robin. You know, Robin's probably the only woman in her life that really, loved her. And little kids are like, I mean, even animals' instincts. They love people that love them. You know what I mean? And like, people shy away from people that they don't trust but I seen Summer loving Robin 50 million times more than Candace.
And I think it made Candace very jealous.
That's a good
Oh,
point.
yeah.
Dawn brought it up in the interview that she just loved Robin, loved women that were like professional dress, he explained.
Yeah, pretty. He threw that in.
Yeah, he threw Candace under the bus, didn't he?
Yeah, it was basically, it's like, well, she loves women that, dress up.
Yeah.
Not like Candace's grimy ass
Not
over
like-
here.
Not like my wife.
Yeah.
Yeah, he threw her under the bus for that one.
Yeah, Spark said, I think Candace was jealous of Summer. I think she was jealous of Summer too.
I guarantee you.
I mean, if you look at these pictures, I mean, she's a beautiful little girl.
Right.
Gorgeous little girl. And, them saying, well, she's a tomboy and stuff like that. No mother in her right mind would be like, yeah, I'm going to shave her head, knowing that she's getting ready to go to school. No. That makes no sense.
No, it doesn't. I always say maybe it was a lice issue that they don't want to tell about, or it was like punishment.
Well, I think more along the lines of punishment. Because, little girls, they like their hair. They like to look feminine.
Well, yeah, and think about what a hypocritic statement when they were like, she loved being a princess. She wanted me to twirl her around. They didn't like her playing with boys' toys, but they're going to let her shave her head.
Right.
What did you think of that?
Yeah, it's just, kids, when they're in school, they're going to get lice. My kids one time, my oldest one and the younger daughter, they came home and they had lice. Well, guess what you do? You get the lice shampoo and you get the comb out and you go about the process of getting rid of the lice. You wash all the sheets and towels and all of that. You don't shave their head. That is punishment. I have a friend who that happened to when she was a child, and it was for punishment. It wasn't because of lice.
That picture you got up there right now, I mean, if you change Summer's clothes and put striped pajamas on her, she'd look like a Holocaust victim. I mean, I don't know, that picture right there to me is disturbing looking for some reason. It is.
Well, in that video of her at the swimming hole, if you look at her back, her little shoulder blades are sticking out like she's just about to be skin and bones.
Yep. Sad.
It's very sad. We've discussed it before. If I had seen this picture, not knowing that Summer was missing, that we're talking about a missing child, I would assume this is a sick little girl.
Yes.
I would assume she has some sort of childhood illness.
Yes,
those
that's
shoes
what
those shoes she has on, those were given to her by a woman, and they're about 4 sizes too big.
Yeah, she always wore misfit stuff. And you notice the pictures at church, she's always got long pants on under a dress. Who does that? What are they hiding?
Maybe bruises, huh?
Yep.
Justice Seeker said, another red flag. Hang on. Let me find it. He said, another red flag. Summer is taller than 3 feet. He said, my 3-year-old is 3 foot.
Yeah, she's very tall for her age. And someone said something about they thought maybe she might have been a little bit older than what they said she was.
That's a good point. I never even thought of that. He just didn't look healthy in that picture.
No. Well, when all you get's a slushy to eat, what's that's going to do? She wasn't receiving nourishment like she should. She wasn't getting the proper diet.
No, and I think that really shows in the progression of her photographs.
And Frosty said, why did 911 dispatch say she was 4?
That's because that's what they reported, because they couldn't even keep track of how old she was.
They were in a panic. They did not rehearse their script well.
Isn't it Don that said she was 4?
Yep.
Whoever called 911, that's what they gave.
I'm pretty sure it was Don who's the one that got her age mixed up.
Bex says Don didn't even know the kids' birthdays.
That's what it was, yeah.
Well, he didn't even remember when he got married either.
No.
He didn't even know Summer's favorite color or candy either. Why do we know that and he don't? He didn't give a damn. That poor kid, man. The life look at that picture. Good Lord.
I want to know why Candace continued using her maiden name, why she kept using Bly. Why she changed it so fast after Summer went missing. She has multiple Facebook profiles.
Well, I'll tell you why she changed it. It was for the GoFundMe. Her legal last name is Bly. She never changed it from Bly to Wells when they supposedly got married, because you have to show when you go to Social Security to change your name, you have to show a marriage license. I think it was just a ceremony and it wasn't ever legal, because I can't find the marriage record.
Lisa, she's been getting all the legal documents. She said they got married in 2016 because Don didn't divorce Pam until 2014.
Okay.
Well.
So they really haven't been married that long, really.
No.
No.
Boy, what a catch. Oh.
Okay, well, I mean, how old is their oldest son? 12 or 13?
I think he's going to be 13.
All right, well, I
Is
mean,
that
7.
Josie?
Yeah.
Well, I shouldn't have said his name. Sorry.
No, we know his name. But so he was still with Pam when she had their oldest son.
Yep.
If they were still married in 2014, well, I wonder what old Pam thought about that. Him having kids with Candace when they were married.
Well, you know what's a really red flag is the kids call Pam Grandma.
Wow.
God.
Talk about dysfunctional. They knew her as Grandma. So she was still part of the so-called family.
Unbelievable.
And Candace was okay with that? And Pam's okay with that? She's married to Don. He's with Candace, having children with her. And they call her Grandma?
Yep.
So have you seen this picture, What Big Eyes?
Yes. There's very few pictures of this child where she looks like she's happy and healthy. It's just so sad.
I would have never posted this picture on social media.
I mean, who does that? Take all those pictures of her looking so, I don't know, disheveled and mistreated and unhappy, and they think that's okay.
Why post that? It's public. Kids go to school. They can see that. Kids get picked on enough as it is. Why would you put this stuff out there?
Exactly.
And the person looking through the glass taking that picture looks like a newly shaved Candace. Because, Don likes his longer curly locks. Why on earth would you stand there and taunt that little girl like that when you can clearly see she's upset? Take that picture and post it.
Exactly.
The cat looks happier than summer.
Yep.
And the cat is fat.
Yeah.
M. Cause says Don's ex looks like Grandis. Kind of does.
I was shocked when I seen that picture of Don's ex. That lady looked old.
Well, she is. She's 70.
Wow.
Oh.
Yeah, the cat looks healthier than summer.
Well, that's an interesting theory. Doris said, I wonder if Summer is with Grandma Pam then.
I wish. In my opinion, not a chance.
Yeah, I think she's been in Utah the whole time.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think Grandma wants any kids around her. As far as I'm concerned, she proved that already. That she don't give a damn. I mean, what grandma does that? I don't know. None that I know of.
Hey, Indiana K. Indiana K says, hi, first time here. Welcome. What do these women see in him? Well.
I can't answer that one.
I'd like to know too. Okay, didn't take care of his first 2 kids, prison stints, essay in his past, a lot of stuff where you just walk away from that one.
Yeah. And so, excuse me, let me keep on going on down the road.
I'm going to have kids with him.
Don's a chick magnet.
Chick magnet.
Oh, he
Oh,
is.
Donnie boy. Don Juan. The chick magnet.
Well, you know, there are women that are attracted to the bad boy type, but he just exceeds that so much.
Wow.
Yeah, this isn't the guy with
Yeah,
the,
he's the kind of guy. He's the kind of guy that your parents warn you about.
Well, he's certainly not the Fonz. The Fonz was cool.
Yeah. Lisa said, you know, Candy abandoned her daughters, right? Their dad raised them. Candy never paid child support either. It's generational. It goes on and on and on. Summer broke all of that.
Yep. That's true that Grandis did abandon her children.
No, you're right, Chris. Candace was taking that picture through a window and you can see her reflection.
That's what I'm saying. That grandma don't care about no damn kid. Sure, it's funny she's not around when trouble. I mean, you would think she'd be there for her daughter. You know, forget Don.
Right.
You know, if anything, I would have snatched my daughter out of there.
Yeah, I would have given her an ultimatum. You're leaving with me.
Exactly.
Especially when he was saying that he always thought something bad was going to happen to Summer. Yep. He said that.
I still can't believe he said that. That is like.
But you know, he always tried to make others responsible for what happened. He'd say about the boys, they didn't watch her, and he told Candace, you need to keep an eye on her. You need to watch her close. Like she's responsible for everything that happened to Summer. And she might be. But he always, you know, it can't be about him being responsible. Everyone else is responsible.
Especially when he was yelling at Mary, screaming, Summer loves her daddy. All the dreams is Summer blowing kisses to him.
Right.
Ran down the hill to get candy from him. He has never mentioned that she had any love for anybody except him or Robin. He has never mentioned her and Candace being tight, that she was a mama's girl. Nothing like that. It's all been how much she loved, past tense, him.
Right. But that's the classic narcissist thing there. It's all about him.
Sure is. As far as I'm concerned. It's all about him. The whole damn crime.
So, all right, I'm going to start wrapping this up. So, what, Big Eyes, let me ask you, what was the first red flag that made you think,
Well, the very first one was that they didn't get the age of Summer right. It was corrected later. And I thought, what parent doesn't know their own child's age? And then the pictures started coming out before the interviews. And I'm looking at those and I go, no, there's something really bad going on here.
My first red flag. My first red flag was I'll see her in the resurrection.
Oh boy.
That was when he said that about I thought, yep, this girl was not abducted. Because who would say that early on in the case? You know what I mean? It was like
Very.
they knew damn good and well that she wasn't abducted. They told us.
Or how about they didn't plead for their daughter? They had no hope from the get-go.
Nope.
Right.
It was never, I can't find my daughter. I need someone to help me. She's missing. It was an absolute, she's missing. After 10 minutes, already assumed she's missing. It wasn't, I can't find my daughter. We live out in the country. She could be anywhere.
Right.
You think they would have said, I can't find Summer. I know she's somewhere on this property.
Exactly.
Not I'll see her. I knew something bad was going to happen. I'll see her in the resurrection.
Elaine said, first red flag, Dawn did not go to the house.
Yeah. That's true.
Dawn did not go to the house.
That's a huge red flag. I wonder what exactly happened. I'm just wondering why did he do that? Summer? Go ahead.
I think he had something there in that shed he didn't want the searchers to find, and he had to relocate it. I'm not saying it was Summer. It could have been something else.
That's
like
a good
drugs.
point.
You
There
know,
was something, right?
Yeah, he had probably a stash there or something, you know?
Mm-hmm. There was definitely something wrong in that shed.
Justice Seeker said, loaded his tools, then called 911. They both called and he wasn't home. That's a red flag.
Yep.
If that was my daughter, I could have cared less about my damn tools.
I'd have left them. I mean,
You'd be you wouldn't care about your tools.
No, not at all. See, right there, he's saying, Summer, it doesn't matter, so I might as well collect my tools because I know damn good and well she's not alive anymore.
Exactly. Well, guys, I'm going to start winding this down. We're going to be back actually later today, here in about an hour and a half. We have some updates on Madison Roy Boudreaux. Check the community tab and you can see like when the next live is going to be. Obviously, there's one coming up. So the next one for Summer is either going to be tomorrow morning or Thursday, depending on. And thank you very much, What Big Eyes.
Well, thank you for having me. I appreciate you inviting me.
Yeah, thank you. And also, tell everybody about your channel and your other channel, what you got going on.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, I've been following true crime for a long time, and I've been on YouTube since 2013. But I just started in the last couple of years doing little videos here and along, and I started out making stuff to help women that have suffered domestic violence by showing them about narcissism. And then I covered all these different things, especially Indigenous missing and murdered women and children. That's close to my heart. And all the little children that, like Summer, that disappear and trying to find what happened to them. And I also, with all of this, we need a little bit of laughter. I have a parody thing that on my channel where I make some videos that are like animated for people to give them a laugh. So that's me.
Well, we're all going to check that out. I knew about the one channel, but not the other one.
I didn't know the other one either. I'm going to go right to it and watch it.
Well,
what's it called?
It's on the playlist.
Okay, we'll look at the playlist.
Right.
And for those of you, that want to join the Discord, if you go to the About tab, send an email, and we'll get you a link to the Discord. So thank you, What Big Eyes. We're all going to check you out. As always, thank you, Kevin.
You're welcome.
Thank you, chat. I think we have the best chat ever. I love the stuff that everyone comes up with. Thank you for the moderators today. And we will see you guys back here at 12 Central. And like I said, check out the community tab because then you'll find out all the next lives. Have a
Thank
great
you, What Big Eyes. Thank you, everybody else in chat. Thank you, Brooks.
Thanks, guys. See you in a little bit.
Bye-bye,
Okay, bye-bye.
everybody.